Chief, you gotta believe me. You're gonna think I'm blind.
Rocks, Joe? Towers of rocks crashing down and then growing up again?
Yeah.
Perhaps a part of the process is the absorption of silicon, taking it right out of whatever it comes in contact with, like human beings.
Just like vampire. Bodies are turned to stone.
What was this amazing power that could turn people into stone? That could suddenly turn inanimate rocks, stones, monoliths into growing, spreading, expanding monsters, threatening to engulf whole towns and cities, to bury all civilization under an immensity of weight beyond all calculation.
The natural slope of the valley floor is bringing them right down here. And once they break through to the other side of the mountains, there'll be no stopping them ever.
Look, all we're asking you to do is save her life.
I can't cope with something I don't even understand.
Ready. Hit it now!
Well, good morning, everybody. Welcome to another episode of the 31 Days of Monsters. We're on day 29. I'm your horrible host, Graham Nolan, and today we're talking about the Monolith monsters. Now, this has everything. It's got rocks, it's got deserts, it's got iron lungs, and it's got microscopes. I mean, what more do you need in a movie than that? Actually, it's not a bad concept. It's more like an execution issue with this film. This is another Jack Arnold movie. He created The Creature from the Black Lagoon. He also did some of the schlockier 50s stuff. Still pretty good, though, like War of the Colossal Beasts and The Amazing Colossal Man. Of course, he did this as well. And, he's got some good ideas. Sometimes it's just the how they end up turning out. And this one, it's got a decent cast in it. It's just a little plodding, a little slow. I thought the special effects are really kind of cool. Those giant pillars rising up and then crashing down. So the use of miniatures is really good. You saw in the trailer, some of the dialogue like. All we're asking for you to do is save her life. Oh, okay. That should be easy enough. I was going to have a coffee and just let her die. Lola Albright, that's who that actress is I think the Monolith monsters have more personality than her in this movie, and they're made of stone. So take that for what it's worth. 1957, I think this thing came out. Grant Williams is our lead hero, and a few months earlier, he actually made a name for himself in a Richard Matheson written film, The Incredible Shrinking Man, which is actually quite good. And I believe that might be a Jack Arnold production, but it was a Matheson script. And that's actually a pretty good movie. I don't remember him in much else other than these two movies, but I know he appeared in TV shows and stuff. I can't remember seeing him in anything. There's really not a lot to say about this movie. I mean, I tried looking stuff up to see if there were any little tidbits that were interesting, but there's really not much written about it. So, I hope you watched it. Draw your own conclusions. It's not bad. It's certainly a B film, but it's got a cool concept. It's just a little slow getting to the meat and potatoes. So let's see who is here today. Dan Genovese is the first one in the chat. Hello, good morning. I hope everyone is having a nice weekend. Dr. Mask is here. Hail Graham, hail chat, driving and listening. Watched this last night. Better than Bride of the Gorilla. Well, I guess you could always use that as a selling point. This movie is even better than Bride of the Gorilla. You must see it. It has rocks. It has deserts. It's got a flood. It's got microscopes. It's got an iron lung. Perth Comics is here. He gives the peace sign. Rob Fellows. Let's see what quote Rob has for us today. If it'll switch over. There we go. She took the kids where? To the desert? They sort of live in the desert. I mean, this town is right in the middle of the desert. So where else is she going to take those kids? Hillbilly Maine is here. He says, what up, Mr. Nolan and the chat? Hello, Hillbilly Maine. Remember to hit that like button. Everybody, first thing you should do when you wake up in the morning is crawl on in here and hit that like button. Fearless Freep made it. Got distracted by my granddaughter. She spent the night. Hail, everyone. Hi, Graham. Hello, Fearless Freep. Based on the trailer, this film predicted the Biden administration. Yes. Yes, indeed. Yes, but in 2 weeks, we're going to hopefully reverse some of that. Prater7 says good morning. Marcus Kellegrew made it this morning. All right, excellent. Did you get a notification? Because I believe yesterday you said you didn't get a notification. And I actually went to the YouTube page and wrote in that we were going live in 10 minutes yesterday on top of the notifications that should have gone out, which is so weird. I don't know what's going on with YouTube and why that is, but I know that subscribers sometimes don't get notified. Willy Wonka Obi says, hail chat. Rob says, at one point we were discussing negative cleavage. Don't know what the hell that was all about. Well, negative cleavage is just a woman with very little breasts. I mean, I think that's quite clear. William Pace says, good morning. H is for heretic is here. I'm late and Paul Pelosi. Just going to drop that right in there. Okay. The Angry Gamer says, good morning, all. Okay. We were out last night. We went to go see Kevin James comedy concert, which was less than comedic. It was okay. It wasn't that great. I didn't want to go, but the family wanted to go, and I was like, all right, well, I'll go. And I guess his brother was the warm-up act, and he, started in comedy, and he was absolutely horrible. Billy Valentine, something like that. Really boring. Marcus did get a notification today. Excellent. Now that ocean knew that the middle of the desert was a pretty silly place for it to be, so it just dried up and went away. 50s science solves climate change. Oh, that's funny. Okay, well, that's weird. You set the time for 9 o'clock and the notification goes out at 9:07. What's up with that? That stinks. It stinks, I tell you. Now, just as a reminder, tomorrow we're swapping out the Mummy's Tomb because we had already talked about that, and we were going to put in The Descent. This is the one everybody was saying is even better than The Cave. So I thought it would be fun to actually watch that one, and then we can compare and contrast it and see which one we like better. I mean, I got sold when they said there's like Nosferatu-like looking characters in it. So I'm sort of interested to watch that one. Willie Wonkanobi says he ordered a couple of my books the other day. Thanks for shipping them out so quickly. I'm looking forward to reading them. Excellent, excellent. I'm assuming, Willie, that you got those on the Compass Comics website. So, if I'm not mistaken, I know I just shipped out the Chinook and Alien Alamo, so it's probably those two that you ordered. If you haven't got on board the newest one, The Ghosts of Matacumba Key, it's going to connect those two books. There's also a connection to the one that we're that we just completed fulfillment on, The Ghosts of Giant-Sized Two-Fisted Manly Tale. And so the link to The Ghosts of Matacumba Key is in the description of today's show, but it's also at the top of this chat. It's pinned to the top of the chat. So I encourage you to go over there, check it out, because you're going to want that book and see how the others, and not only those books, but all my creator-owned projects, including the Monster Island series and Joe Frankenstein series, all connect together. So thank you for your support. Thank you for getting those books. I don't want you to miss out on the next one. Okay. So can you believe it? We're on the 29th already. We've got 2 more movies to watch. So we have The Descent, and then we close out the Halloween season with Salem's Lot. Now, we'll be closing out the first 30 of the Ghost of Matacumba Key Halloween night as well. I'll probably do something on this channel here. But if we do the Comicsgate Kings on Monday night, we'll do a closeout there as well. And I believe Billy is closing out his Shisakura that night too. So we'll have two projects that we'll be closing out. Time flies when winter's approaching. I'd rather skip the whole thing and go right to spring. Yeah, I know. We don't have much of a spring here in Western New York. It's hit or miss. We go from winter to winter part 2, and then to summer. We have an awesome autumn. Our autumn is fantastic. Our winters are good too. I mean, it's cold everywhere in the Northeast. You might as well have some snow. And we have that. Oh, great clip you posted of Julie enjoying a rest after her hard work on Giant-Sized Two-Fisted Manly Tales. Check it out, folks. Yeah, it's pretty cute. So yeah, definitely check that out. There's a little surprise at the end. And it could happen to you too once you read Two-Fisted Manly Tales. You know, I promised you your T levels would go up. Santiago Pellegros wants to know which one, classic or 2001? I'm not sure what we're talking about here. You're talking about The Descent? I think that's like 2005. That's what you're talking about. Oh, you might be talking about Salem's Lot. The original, the 1979 version with David Soul. That's the one. Yep, I figured it out. Got it. David Soul version, the classic. To be honest, I didn't even know that they made a remake of it. If any of you have seen it, is it any good? Is it worth watching? Well, let's give a shout out and a happy birthday to Marcus Kellegrew. Monstrous more to you, my friend. You haven't had an existential crisis yet? Every time you have a birthday, it means you're not under the ground. So that's good. You have to look at it that way. Every day above the sod's a good one. Simo over here on Long Island, we get about 2 weeks of spring, then right into summer. Fall is nice, though. Well, where are you on Long Island, Dan? I grew up in Long Beach, down on the South Shore there. Rob Brown says, good morning, Comicsgate. Good morning, Rob. was waiting to hear back from Dan here, see what part of Long Island he's from. So we got to figure out something to do, during the winter months too, I think. Doesn't this, oh, here he goes. Dan says, I'm in Garden City South. I have a friend in Long Beach, about 20 minutes away. Oh, very cool. One of the best beaches. Long Beach and the Jersey Shore, to me, best beaches. Thanks, everyone. I'm not quite as old as Art, but just about caught up to Aaron. Nobody's as old as Art. Actually, that's sort of the joke, is that Art and I are only, let's see, October, November, December, January, February, March. We're only 5 months apart. But he gets all the shit. And I'm willing to keep it that way. My new best friend, but I look younger. All right. Oh, Normie Nerd is here. I missed him. Good morning, sir. See if I missed anybody here. Yeah, we got a small crew this morning. I think it's because of the movie that was chosen and because it's Saturday morning and people are either sleeping in or getting busy with their weekend. So tomorrow it'll be The Descent, and the time fluctuates on Sundays. So you just have to look for that notification. God willing, it comes through from YouTube and let you know. But anyway, I hope you guys have a great weekend. May your teams all win. If you're an NFL fan, go Bills. And we'll see you guys tomorrow. Have a great weekend. Bye-bye, guys.